Hey, this is Gein from GidgetGein.com. You're listening to 3 Ring Radio. Use one to destroy, motherfucker.
Hello, you metal freaks. This is King Diamond, and you're listening to 3ringradio.com with Shane. You better stay tuned.
Hi, this is Penn and Teller. You're listening to 3 Ring Radio, but I've been known to lie.
Some of the opinions and topics expressed on this program may be objectionable to some people. The opinions expressed on this program are solely the opinions of the individuals who express them. Some of them are the opinions of people we don't even know, and some of them are the opinions of people that we just made up. If you're offended by something on this program, please just don't listen. If you're tempted by what you hear on this program to do something potentially dangerous or illegal, you are an idiot, and we refuse to be held responsible for your stupidity. In short, don't try this at home or at all.
Step right up. This is your pal Satan speaking, and I'm here to introduce you to the most evil show on earth, Shane Buckley's 3 Ring Radio. Hosted by none other than Chicago's infamous troublemaker and founder of EvilNow.com, Shane Buckley's 3 Ring Radio is so evil that upon hearing it, the flesh will melt right out your face. Join the ring after Shane Buckley for a full hour of talk, music, sex, crime, and yours truly, ladies and gentlemen, Satan!
All right, I think I'm on again. Wow. This week, I've got a sweet interview with Gidget Gein, ex-member of Marilyn Manson. He spills the dirt on his relationship with Marilyn Manson and overdosing on drugs while he was in the band and getting kicked out of the band, and he works as a morgue helper. He picks up dead bodies and stuff, so we have a cool conversation on some morbid tales, to say the least. So that's what we have on this week's show. I'm going to play a clip from the interview I did with Penn Jillette to introduce anyone out there who doesn't know who Penn Jillette is. He's a cultural icon, to say the least, and he was in The Simpsons. Check him out, pennandteller.com, if you're not familiar with Penn Jillette, but you should be. He's real cool. We got a whole hour of Penn Jillette. I mean, and I'm supposed to be talking to him again, so we'll have a part 2 to that sometime. In the future also, we have an interview with Phil Anselmo. He's the lead singer of Pantera. He's also doing a band called Super Joint Ritual. And we're going to be talking to all the members of Super Joint Ritual. In the next couple of weeks, keep checking back. But I'm going to play a little song coming up here from Pantera. Or not Pantera. Ooh, that's a bad slip. I guess Phil Anselmo has since left Pantera. They broke up. So he's doing Super Joint Ritual exclusive. And I'm going to play a short song called Fuck Your Enemies. Okay? Fuck them motherfuckers in the ass. Anyway, I think I'm going to do that. We're getting off to a silent, a quiet start here at 3 Ring Radio. Check it out, 3ringradio.com. Remember to support your station. Any station at 3 Ring Radio, 3ringradio.com, 3 Ring Radio is on, is a listener supported. It's not really a donation. It's a tip. So, like you would tip your waiter for a good drink, tip your station for a good show. Okay? So remember to do that and enjoy.
You might want to watch out that front window, Larry.
The only thing that makes reality is death. And then they hang it on a cross and kneel down and pray to it. The only thing that's not an act. The only thing that makes reality is death. The only thing that makes reality is death. And then they hang it on a cross and kneel down and pray to it. The only thing that's not an act. The only thing that makes reality is death. The only thing that makes reality is death. And then they hang it on a cross and kneel down and pray to it. The only thing that's not an act. The only thing that makes reality is death. The only thing that makes reality is death. And then they hang it on a cross and kneel down and pray to it. The only thing that's not an act. The only thing that makes reality is death. The only thing that makes reality is death. And then they hang it on a cross and kneel down and pray to it. The only thing that's not an act. The only thing that makes reality is death. The only thing that makes reality is death. And then they hang it on a cross and kneel down and pray to it. The only thing that's not an act. The only thing that makes reality is death.
Piece of grass, heroin. But then we're going to take them higher than that.
You guys might know or not know, we had a trivia contest during the Dream Day with the band. Right here is the winner of Strawberry Shortshake. Heavy. Come on, tell me to take your clothes off. Come on, come on. Obviously, she doesn't like enemas, so we'll talk to you after the show. You guys give her a good one.
Then you can cause an ejaculation by yourself, too, by masturbating.
All right. You're listening to old school Marilyn Manson. I'm just like a DJ. You're listening to old school Marilyn Manson on 3ringradio.com. Now, yeah, that's with Gidget Gein. Gidget Gein, ex-Marilyn Manson member, coming right up right now. 3ringradio.com. You know, go there if you need a link to, or go check out GidgetGein.com direct. Here's the man, Gidget Gein. All right, Gidget Gein.
Hey.
Yeah, so this is Gidget Gein, and your website's GidgetGein.com, right?
Yeah, but I just go by Gein. I don't use the Gidget part anymore.
When did you drop the Gidget part? When you dropped the band?
No, probably. Well, when I left the band, I dropped everything, and then I just picked it up like a couple years ago because I thought there was no reason to like deny my past, and most people know me as that name, but like since now I'm just doing art, painting, and sculptures, I just go by Gein because I don't know, the Gidget to me sounds too I don't know if I dare to say silly.
Yeah, well, depending on who you talk to, Gein might be silly.
Yeah, well, not too many people know who Ed Gein is, so I mean that's where I get the name from.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I don't tell too many people this, but I stole Gein's tombstone a couple of years ago.
Awesome. I got some wood from his house.
Did you? Well, I took his fucking tombstone and I took it on tour.
That's great.
Yeah, and the police came to take it from me, but I used it as a publicity stunt, you know.
Yeah, I just did a painting of him. I'm gonna send you a picture of it.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
So let's start with the beginning.
Okay.
Gidget Gein. How long were you in Marilyn Manson?
Well, I started the band with him in '89, and I left the beginning of '94.
So you did start the band with him?
Yeah. Well, he and Scott, the guitar player, who was known as Daisy, they got together and they wrote a few songs. And they had some other bass player, but it really wasn't a band at that point. And then he got together with me, and then we really started cooking.
Did you? Are you on the first album?
Yeah, I'm on the first album. I'm on the second album, and I wrote songs on the third album, which is Antichrist.
Wow, that's interesting. So what happened? Why'd you leave? Why'd you leave something that seems, from anyone on the outside would seem that'd be a dream come true to be big old rock star?
I cite chemical differences, which this is how the story goes. There was, I was in that band. I was doing lots of drugs and messing around, and nobody else in the band was doing drugs at that time, so they couldn't relate to where I was coming from. And anyways, I overdosed a few times, pronounced dead, just that sort of thing, crimes here and there. And they gave me opportunity after opportunity to kick it, but I was a drug addict, so it wasn't that easy. Anyways, the week before I left the band, it really hit the fan, and so I wound up getting talked into rehab. And Manson came to visit me, and he said, and this is Christmas time, and it's 2 days before Christmas. And he's like, man, everything's cool. Just get yourself together. We're going to go on tour in 6 months. Get healthy, and everything will be okay. So I thought everything was great. Anyways, Christmas Eve, I get a FedEx letter thinking that, oh, that's nice. Somebody remembered Christmas for me. They're sending me a card or something. I opened it up, and it was a form letter from the lawyers and managers saying my services were no longer needed. So that was the end of that.
Ouch. That's odd, though, seeing as how much the band members and Mr. Manson himself, they do a lot of drugs now.
Yeah, I think that's the trick. Get famous, then start doing drugs. If you start doing drugs before you're successful, you're never going to get there.
I see. So do you regret any of that time?
No, I don't regret anything. It's everything worked out. Me and Manson are friends now. We're working together.
Are you?
Yeah, I just got back from L.A. where I had some of my art in his new video that's coming out called Saint, and I actually was in the video too. I was playing a transvestite junkie, which, is not a far stretch for me.
Now, what is that sculpture you have in the video? I saw it on your website at one time. I really liked that one. That was hot. In case of emergency, break glass, was it?
Yeah, in case of emergency, break heart.
Oh, break heart.
Yeah, it's a heart made out of resin, which inside of it is embedded a syringe, a burnt spoon, some matches, and a bag of dope.
Yeah, man, that's I like that sculpture I'd seen on your site. So, what now? I guess to finish off Marilyn Manson talk. How do you talk to a guy after it feels almost like you were burned?
Well, no, because I would have done the same thing. You know, if I was Manson, I would have got rid of me too, because I was like the weakest link in the chain. And at the time, I was pissed. And, you know, when the first record came out, you know, I see his picture everywhere and this and that, and I don't have any money, and I was really, really mad for a long time, but as I came to, you know myself and accept certain things, I understood, you know, why it happened, and, you know, I'm not the type of person that will hold a grudge if I'm at fault, and I definitely was at fault for everything that happened, so, you know, we made up, and, you know, we're friends now, and everything's cool.
Well, that's cool. I mean, do you get paid from the first album or anything like that? Do you make money off that or no?
Yeah, I make money off of all 3 records.
A little royalties here and there?
Yes, I still make money.
Right on. Well, past that now, what did you do after you left the band? Now you work as you clean up dead bodies.
Yeah, I work for the medical examiner, and I go to different whether it's a crime scene, an accident, suicide, overdose, any sort of death that needs to go to the medical examiner's office for autopsy. I go and pick them up and bring them there. I'm kind of like a taxi cab driver for the dead.
And do you actually have to, I guess I did read on your website somewhere that you actually do, I think you gave little request to fat folks.
Oh, yeah. Because, you know, luckily, I don't pick up too many, really obese people, but for some reason, when fat people die, they're always, on the second floor or the third floor, and there's no elevator. And it's just, you know, it's difficult to deal with them. And then if they're decomped, if they've been there for a week or so, it's just a mess. And I don't know. My back is killing me from all that.
You need to find a rubber bladder where you could just toss them down the stairs.
Well, sometimes I'll tie them, you know, put them in the body bag, and then I'll tie a rope to the bag and then just kind of ease them down.
Do you have to do this stuff in front of family members? Are they in the residence as you're taking out the body or something?
Most of the time, we put them in another room, or there's nobody there. If they're in the room, then I'm as cool as possible.
Sure, yeah.
And I look professional. I wear a tie and all that. So,
what's the now? Just today, I got to partake in a press conference for it looks like a serial killer that's popping up in Hammond, Indiana here, where they found 3 bodies in his basement buried, and they're pulling out a bunch of other bodies.
I haven't heard about that guy.
Yeah, well, it just happened, man. I live 5 blocks away, so I went down there with fake credentials and tape recorder and mic and got to be a part of the press conference.
That's awesome.
Yeah, my question is, how bad, I mean, have you had any experience, famous cases where you'd go and pull out a body or...
Well, I haven't got any serial killers yet or anything like that, but I've done a lot of stuff that it's on the news. There was this one case that was this girl and a guy. They were down on South Beach in Miami, out on a date, high school kids, and these guys these gangbangers started messing with them, and they abducted them, and so they stabbed the guy in front of the girlfriend, and he's still living or whatever. Then they rape her and do all the crazy stuff. So they think they killed him. They throw him out of the van, and they drive a little bit further. Then they wind up killing the girl, throwing her in the bushes. And the idiots, they took the ATM card and they go to the machine and they withdraw money. And of course they got cameras for that, so they were busted in an hour. That was a pretty big deal down here. And then there's a bunch of stuff where I'm on the news all the time, which is cool. Cause I've been on, MTV and been in magazines and all that. For some reason, that stuff doesn't excite me. But whenever I see myself on the news, wheeling out a stiff, I gotta call everybody up and tell them about it.
So now that's a crazy job, man. How do you get a job like that?
I got connections.
Do you really need connections to get a job like that? It seems like something that how do you hold a job like that?
The first time I did it was years ago, kind of right after I left Manson, and it was in Miami, and I was I went to the job service where you can go on the computer and look for different jobs, and I saw a thing that said mortuary attendant. So I thought, this is kind of cool. Let me check it out. So I go down there, and it turned out it was the Miami medical examiner. So I did that for a while. But when I did it that time, I was like still doing dope, so I would be like dope sick most of the time, picking up dead bodies, and that was truly like, if there's like a hell, that was like pretty close to it.
Yeah, I bet that had to be hard to stomach.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I got a pretty strong stomach. It was just miserable, being sick, and it's kind of hard work, and it's horrible. This time, I started doing this job. I knew somebody that had a funeral home, and they told me about it, because I'm doing it like in a different county now.
I spent my summer vacations in a funeral home my aunt and uncle owned. So it was very odd to stay there every summer and help lay out flowers around caskets and stuff.
Funeral homes are creepy. There's one that I go to in the ghetto where every time I get a case, it's always like in the middle of the night, like 4 in the morning. And actually the ghetto that I go to is where I first started doing like heroin at, so it like brings back memories. And then they got like dead people like all over the place. It's real like ghetto fabulous.
The creepiest part about staying in summers in a funeral home was that they lived above it. You know, they had the funerals downstairs, and they lived above it, and that's how a lot of funeral homes are.
Yeah, a lot of them are like that are down here.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So, tell me more about this job, man. I mean, you got anything, can you paint a picture for me right now of just something just fucked up that people just don't realize come along with death? Like, you know, does everyone have shit in their pants? I mean, is it that fucked up? Because, I mean, you got to shit your pants or vomit or, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people shit their pants, but not everybody. Like you'll hear that, oh, everybody shits themselves when they die. It's not like that. Yeah, some people get like die from some sort of gastronomical disorder, and they'll shit like there'll be a trail from the bed to the bathroom and back again, and there'll be like, you know, bloody vomit all over the place, and the smell of like decomposing flesh is, you can't even imagine. Like, I know there's lots of people that are, you know, like goth kids are like, oh yeah, death, this is cool, but you can't even imagine. You know, there's nothing like cool about it, like in person. Imagine like roadkill, the worst smelling roadkill mixed with like shit, body odor, vomit, and then put that like in a blender and leave that out for like a month, and that's kind of close to what it smells like. Just the smells are the worst. I've seen everything, and nothing bothers me. I picked up this one guy that apparently he killed himself with a chainsaw in a parking garage. He picked up, started a chainsaw and like lifted it over his head and jammed it into his back, and he cut himself in half. And I was asking like the chief investigator, I'm like, well, how do you know that this is a suicide? I mean, who the hell kills himself with a chainsaw? And he's like, look up there, you see that? There was a security camera, caught the whole thing on tape.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I kept asking him, let me see the tape, but he wouldn't let me see it. And then I picked up another guy that killed himself with a circular saw, those round saws that you cut wood with.
Yeah.
He got under it, and because it was one of the ones that you lift up with your hand and bring it down on the wood. He got under it, turned it on, and cut his head off.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're the guy feeding all those photos to Rotten.com, aren't you?
No, but that's my life, yeah. My life is Rotten.com.
Or Ogre.com, that's a good one.
Yeah, I have to know one too.
Man, now those are the stories I'm looking for. Fuck the bullshit. That's fucked up. I've never heard of a chainsaw suicide.
Yeah, I'm serious. It totally happened.
Hey,
and the circular saw was like, I don't know, it's weird, man. And when I moved him, he was like one of those bobblehead dolls because his head was like almost completely off, but I moved him and his head just wobbled all over the place.
Oh, fuck, man. Hey, there's the name of your next band if you ever get a band going again. Chainsaw Suicide.
Here's another, like, it's not that gory, but it's pretty funny. I picked up a guy on Valentine's Day that killed himself with a bow and arrow. He jammed the arrow right through his heart. And I told the cops, I said, hey, man, I know who did this. And they're like, who are you talking about? I'm like, that was the Cupid, man. That guy's, like, totally in love now. Look at him. And they're like, come on.
A lot of sick humor between you and, like, police officers and stuff like that?
Yeah, everybody's cracking jokes, all the time. Unless it's like a little kid, then, everybody's got a straight face.
Ouch. Yeah, there's a downer of the job, not just the people that are asking for it.
Yeah.
But the people that aren't asking for it.
Kids, babies, I get like all ages, all colors, death. There's no discrimination in death.
That's the one thing we're all going to have to face up to someday. That's keeps us, that's one thing we can all relate to, right? We're all going to be dead.
Yep. Guaranteed.
Yeah. Wow, that's some interesting stuff, man. Anything really crazy, like those are pretty crazy stories. Anything sexual?
Yeah, people dying from like autoerotic asphyxiation, where they're jerking off and they got something tied around their throat, and they don't like untie it in time, and that you catch him. Like, I'll pick up a guy that's been dead for a week with a bag over his head, a butt plug in his ass, and porno on the TV. Pretty crazy. It's pretty. Your family, they don't hear from you for like a week, and then they go in and find that your rotten, bloated corpse with a butt plug up your ass.
It's a nice little memory to leave them with.
Yeah.
So do you just pick up the meat?
Yeah, I just deliver them.
So you don't get to handle it?
No, but I'm going to start assisting. No, I pick up the bodies, but I don't.
You don't get to play with the bodies, is what I'm saying.
I'm going to start assisting with autopsies like the first of the year, so I'll be like, cutting people's heads open, scooping the brains out.
So does that mean that you'll be slicing off some long pig?
Yeah. Sauteed long pig.
Are you kidding?
No, I won't be doing none of that.
Yeah, well, never know.
That's Nico's department.
Nico, the vampire of Paris?
Yeah, Nico Clow.
I would be if someone offered me human flesh, I would eat it.
Yeah, I'd try it, but I don't know. I used to really think about that, but this job, it kind of I don't know, it's kind of nasty.
Do you eat meat at all?
What? Oh, yeah, I eat meat. I eat anything. But every time I go to the supermarket now and I go to the meat aisle, it totally reminds me of the medical examiner's office.
What's the most similar? How about what's the most? I was asking Nico, the vampire of Paris. I was asking him about this. What does it taste like? And other people I've spoke with that have eaten human flesh say like pork. Is that what it looks like though when it's all displayed and splayed and filleted all around you?
I don't know. I've never seen no meat that looks like this. It's always everything. When I see meat, when it's ripped up, it's just a mess, man. It's like, I don't know. It's crazy. You can't even imagine. It doesn't even seem real. It seems like a movie prop. It's hard to describe. It's just ripped. People get caught under semi trucks and dragged where they're just brains and livers and lungs, quarter mile up and down the highway. It's not very appetizing, I'll tell you that much.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
New from Adversary Recordings. Church of Satan High Priest Peter H. Gilmore's first compact disc release, Threnody for Humanity. Originally composed, written, performed, and recorded by Peter H. Gilmore between 1987 and 1989 at his home studio in the depths of Hell's Kitchen, New York City. The music in this recording was used to score the video documentaries Death Scenes 2 and Death Scenes 3. Here, for the first time, you will hear the complete original pieces sequenced by the composer himself. These recordings are complemented by all new original artwork, created specifically for this release by artist Stephen Kasner. Threnody for Humanity. Available now from MephistoMedia.com.
We're back now with Gein, known before as Gidget Gein, GidgetGein.com. Hello, Mr. Gein.
Hello.
Yeah, so now we're talking a little bit now. You've progressed. How many years has it been since you haven't been in Marilyn Manson?
Like 6 years, 7 years, something like that.
So in 6-7 years, you've cleaned yourself up. No more drugs.
Nope. It's been 3 years since I haven't done drugs. When I left the band, that wasn't the end. I thought it might have been. I was clean for 6 months, and then it all started up worse than ever.
But you're off drugs for 3 years.
Yep.
And is that when you got into painting?
No, I've been doing stuff like my whole life, whether it's some form of art, but I just really started like doing this full time about a year ago.
Painting. Correct?
Painting, sculptures, mixed media, video, whatever.
Right on. So have you done a lot of mixed media and video?
Not a lot. I'd like to start doing more. I just haven't had the time.
Are you, have you had any art shows recently?
Yeah, I just had a few, like down here. Like I had one on Halloween. I had one last month. I did this thing called the Scream Fest, which was like this big horror movie convention they have down here. It wasn't really like an art show, but I displayed some art there. And me and Nico Clow were supposed to be doing one like the first of the year somewhere, probably down here, and then maybe one in New York or L.A., and then some in Europe.
Nico's going to join you for this?
Yeah, we don't know exactly when, but it's definitely going to happen sometime.
How's he going to get into the States?
He's got no problem with it. So I asked him about that, and he's like, no, he's got no travel restrictions.
I just spoke with him. We just did an interview here, 3ringradio.com, with Nico, the Vampire of Paris, and he told me that he'd have to come in an illegal way, probably.
Yeah, well, maybe so, but he told me he got no problem with it.
Right on. Well, if you ever need a hookup for an art show in Chicago, give me a call. I'd love to help you guys out with that. I've done a couple art shows.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to do Chicago. That'd be great.
Yeah, so are you making a living at the painting yet?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm like, I don't know, I just started selling like a bunch of stuff, so like lately I've been doing real good. Then I sold, like when I was out in L.A., I actually sold that heart sculpture, and Aja Argento, the director, movie star girl, she's got that now, so I made some money off of that.
Argento's daughter has it?
Excuse me?
Who has it?
Aja Argento.
Oh, you know who Dario Argento is, right?
Yeah, that's her dad.
Wow, that's cool, man. Well, he's cool. I don't know about her. I don't know anything about her, but he's cool.
She's really cool. She directed the Manson video that I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. She's getting into directing like her old man.
Yeah, well, she directed a movie called Scarlet Diva, which is really, really cool. And she just did this one movie that she's editing now called The Heart is Deceitful Above All Things.
Ooh, sounds good, man.
Yeah, that's going to be really good.
So she owns that piece now, huh?
Yep.
That's a nice piece, I have to say. I was really shocked. So where do people get to see your artwork if they want to buy something? Do they have to wait for a gallery show?
No, you can get it all on the website. And then I got a thing on there now called Gein's 50/50 Art Sale, which I sell stuff just to, fans and people that really want it. I got small 4x6 paintings for $50, and then, 10x7 paintings for $100, and I'm just doing 50 of each. And you can get that, and that's like collectors, galleries, and like stupid art people. They're prohibited from participating in the art sale. I just want to make it available to people that really, really want it. That can't afford the bigger pieces.
I used to do a gallery called Goat Gallery, and we had a big neon in the window said "Fat Art for Thin Wallets."
Yeah.
And I did a lot of stuff like that where I'd sell. I was really into making prints. I made a print with Joel Coleman and some other folks like that, because a print for $15, $20, $30, $50 people can afford.
Yeah, speaking of Joe Coleman, he's in that movie that Aja did, the Scarlet Diva.
Wow.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's really good.
Who put that movie out? Do you know?
I don't know. Some like small time thing. I don't know. I don't think it was in too many theaters.
You know what? Why bother asking though? Because we have the internet and we're on the internet, so we can just go punch it into Yahoo and find out.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes questions are getting stupider. Period. We'll just punch it into the internet.
Yeah, I just moved and I just hooked up my DSL again, so I've been like sitting on the computer all the time.
Yeah,
it's dangerous.
Yeah, that's the truth. Are you making music at all now?
Well, this week sometime I'm supposed to record a song with my old drummer from the Dali Gaggers, and I'm going to do in that band we used to do a cover of The Fairy Tale of New York, which was a Pogue song. So we're going to record that. It's kind of like a Christmas song, and I figured, well, hey, it's Christmas time, let's record it. And then sometime in January or after that, me and Manson are supposed to do a song together. I don't know when that's going to happen, but we talked about it. But I don't do too much music anymore just because the art takes up most of my time.
I hear you. I hear you. What the fuck is wrong with Florida?
I think it's too hot, man. It makes people stupid.
Yeah, man. Are you familiar with Mike Diana?
Sounds familiar.
He's the cartoonist down there who got put in jail for his comic books.
Oh, what was the name of the comic book that he did?
Boiled Angel?
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I publish all of that stuff. That's how I originally had hooked up with Marilyn Manson. You know, he'd contacted me about the Mike Diana stuff while I was publishing. And so I always wondered, what the fuck is wrong with Florida? And when I came down there for that trial, at least where he's from, Largo area, all I saw was fucking donut shops, pawn shops, and titty bars. That's it, man. Yeah,
it's a weird place, man. A lot of old people, too. It's good for my business, you know.
Yeah. Hey,
God's waiting room, I call it.
Are you familiar with the band Hell on Earth?
Oh, yeah. They're in Tampa. That's like about 4 hours away from me. So, yeah, I heard about that whole thing they were going to do with the suicide and all that, but I never heard any of your music or any of that. I know, like a lot of those death metal bands, like Morbid Angel and Tenet Torturers and that whole scene.
And Deicide.
Yeah, Deicide. I love Deicide. I'm not too much into, like, death metal, but I just like them because they're so extreme.
Yeah, well, anyone who burns a fucking upside-down cross in their forehead earns some record sales.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a way to sell records.
I like Slayer. They're like my favorite. Like, they're not really death metal, but
Slayer?
Favorite bands. Yeah, Slayer.
Oh yeah, fucking Slayer's one of my top bands ever. I mean, they're just fucking the shit.
Yeah.
At least their first 4 albums are like, geez, some of the best metal ever made.
Yeah, I like all the records. Even like the last studio record they put out, I thought was great. God Hates Us All. That was good.
Ironic how it came out on 9/11, huh?
Yeah. Didn't it, like, get postponed, like, a week or something, though?
No, dude. It shipped the week before that. There was flyers everywhere saying, in stores 9/11.
Wow. That's actually my birthday. I was born on 9/11.
You're fucking kidding me.
No. So,
wow.
like, I hate celebrating my birthday, so now it's, like, it's kind of good, so there's always, like, a black eye on that day, so people, like, ignore my birthday.
So you hate celebrating your birthday?
Yeah, I don't really.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't like attention drawn to me in that sort of venue. I don't know.
So personal? You just like to be on stage in front of thousands of people?
Yeah, like I can like deal with like lots of people, or if it's like business or whatever. But when it comes to like, I don't know. I guess it's too real for me.
Yeah. Well, some see it as a celebration of life.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it probably goes back to my childhood. I blame it on my parents.
Those fucking jerks.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, anything else happening, man, in the near future for you?
Well, I got a show definitely in January. That's probably going to be in the middle of January in Miami. That'll run for a month or a month and a half. I don't know the exact date yet. I'll probably know in a week, and it'll be on my website. And that might be with Nico, but I'm not sure yet. So I got that, and, back to L.A. first of the year to maybe do something with Manson. And the video's coming out that he did, and I'm in that, so that's something to check out.
That's cool, man. Hey, do me a favor. Check out DirtyDetroit.com.
Oh, okay.
And that's a website of a gentleman who does an erotic art show in Detroit.
Okay.
And he's bringing it down to Miami or something. I do some artwork in the show myself. And so you might want to think about hooking up. The guy really pulls in a lot of people and a lot of shit sells.
Yeah. I want to do shit all over the place. Yeah.
Well, you got to come up here, man. We got a lot. The Midwest really sucks, and there's nothing going on here. Somewhat like Florida. And so people are just starved for entertainment. So you got to come up here and bring some of your artwork up here. Folks up here could really use it.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'll definitely check that out.
Hey, bro, thanks for calling up. And any last words?
Use once and destroy.
Any questions for me?
What's your favorite color? I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, boy, I don't know. That's a tough one.
What sign are you? You come here often?
Hey, thanks for calling.
All right, hey, thanks for having me.